Wisconsin's transportation fund is projected to be $680 million in the hole next year. On Tuesday, voters overwhelmingly said yes to changing the state's constitution to say money from that fund can only be used for transportation needs. News 8's Kyle Demke joins us now with more. Kyle?
Well, from 2003 to 2011, state lawmakers took $1.4 billion from Wisconsin's transportation fund. That money was put towards things like education and health care. The 80-20 vote on Tuesday tells lawmakers voters want to see work done on our roadways. And now the task of digging out of that financial hole begins.
The problem that many people saw and that I hear from a lot of people is that we have aging infrastructure with transportation.
Just like Wisconsin voters, state representatives Jill Billings and Steve Doyle know our roads are in need of repair.
Definitely is on the forefront of everyone's view of what we have to address this session.
85% of the money for the highway fund comes from our gas tax and vehicle registration. Even though all money will now stay in the transportation fund, those two main sources of revenue are declining.
With vehicles getting more fuel efficient, and the gas tax being frozen, there's less money coming in there. People are driving fewer miles, and so we can't just rely on the old way of doing things.
Now state lawmakers are being forced to find another source of funding.
There's not really a consensus, unfortunately. People don't want to have tolls, they don't want to raise the gas tax, they don't want to raise registration fees, but we're going to have to make some tough decisions.
We cannot build our way out of the situation that we have with our transportation system.
The problem is that there is a shortage of funds and a lack of consensus on how we solve the problem, and until we get that consensus, I don't know what the answer is in terms of when the transportation fund will be flush again.
Representative Doyle hopes the state will take advantage of federal dollars being offered by the U.S. government. He says the federal funds exchange program gives money to the state, which then disperses that money to local governments to help with local transportation needs.
All right, thanks so much, Kyle. Representative Doyle expects that after January 1st, Governor Walker will put forward his budget proposal addressing the $680 million shortfall.